Hello and welcome to the part 2 of creating hierarchies. I'm going to create a new hierarchy in the dim date table, and I'm going to call this hierarchy calendar. I'm going to add 5 columns to the hierarchy in the following order: calendar year, calendar semester, calendar quarter, month calendar, day number of month. So these are all the columns I'm going to be adding to the new hierarchy called calendar. I've already got the date table highlighted here in the diagram view. So I'll right click and select create hierarchy, and it will create a hierarchy in the date table. So I'm just going to drag it down. This is the name of the hierarchy. I'm going to rename this new hierarchy to calendar. So I right click and select rename. I've renamed the hierarchy and I've called it calendar. So next I'm going to drag the columns I want into this calendar. The first column I'm going to add is the calendar year. So I select the calendar year and then drag it all the way into the hierarchy and I'll let go. So I've got the calendar semester selected. I'm going to right click and select add to calendar, and it will add that to the calendar hierarchy. I've got the calendar quarter selected. I'm going to right click and add to calendar hierarchy. I've got the month calendar selected, right click and add to calendar hierarchy. I've got day number of month highlighted. I'll right click and add to the calendar hierarchy. So make sure you've added the columns to the calendar hierarchy in the exact order I have added them on. I'm going to create another hierarchy in the dim date table. This hierarchy is going to be called fiscal hierarchy, and it's going to include the following columns in the exact order. So we're just going to repeat the step for the previous hierarchy I created. So I've got the dim date table selected. I'm going to right click and create hierarchy. The hierarchy has been created, so I'm going to right click and rename the hierarchy to fiscal. I've renamed the hierarchy to fiscal. Now I'm going to add a column. I'm going to add the columns to the new hierarchy. So the first column I want to add is the fiscal year. So I've got that selected, right click and click add to fiscal hierarchy. And the next is going to be the fiscal semester. So I select that, right click, add to hierarchy, fiscal. Next column to add is a fiscal quarter. So I right click, add to fiscal hierarchy. The next column to add is a month calendar. So I select that, right click, add to fiscal. The next column I want to add is the day number of month. So I've got that selected. I'll right click, add to fiscal. I've now added the 5 columns to the fiscal hierarchy. So make sure you've added them in the order I have specified. I'm going to create the final hierarchy in the dim date table, and I'm going to call this hierarchy production calendar hierarchy. And I'm going to include 3 columns in the following order: calendar year, week number of year, day number of week. So I'm going to select the table. So I've got the table selected, right click and create hierarchy. That will create a new hierarchy. I'm going to rename the new hierarchy I created. So I've got it selected. I'm going to right click, rename, and I'm going to call it production calendar. I've renamed the hierarchy. I've called it production calendar. I'm going to add 3 columns to the new hierarchy. The first column is going to be the calendar year. So I've got it selected. I'll right click, add to production calendar. I've got the second column selected, so I'll right click and then add to production calendar. I've got the final column selected, which is the day number of week. I'll right click and add to the production calendar. So that's it for this video. In this video, we created 3 more hierarchies in the dim date table. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.